I think elections count to a certain degree. I do hold importance in them, and I naturally, being a lefty, I'm a little bit disappointed what happened in British Columbia, but I cannot believe the stupidity of the analysts of the analyses of the election, where they just seem to glorify what the conservatives did, uh, forgetting there was no miracle when they said that John Rustad took the conservatives from nowhere to almost forming the government. That isn't the case, because British Columbia has always had a weak conservative party. Doesn't mean they haven't had conservatives. The social credit ruled in British Columbia for a long time. And the liberals in British Columbia are not the liberals nationally. Liberals in British Columbia have been the conservative party. And so what happened was the liberals tanked because they tried to make another formation, and then the same people flooded to the conservative party. But that's not the same as a miracle. It just meant that the voting pattern was very much like 2017. And it does look indeed like David Eby's social democratic government will hold, although it will need the support of the Greens, which is maybe not a bad idea, because the Greens in British Columbia are fairly progressive. And I can't see any way, I don't think anybody can see any way of them joining the Conservatives, some of whom during the campaign took a very, very, very lax position, almost negative, on climate change. So again, what I'm saying is that the triumph, in quotation marks, of the Conservatives is way, way overblown. Yes, I wish that I wish that the NDP had done a bit better. No question about that. But when you think about it, and none of the commentators mentioned this, they are holding on pretty well to 45% of the vote. They still led the Conservatives in popular vote. And they turned in, voting-wise, their third best performance in the history of British Columbia elections. So I think that, one, the Conservatives have been vastly exaggerated. Two, the setbacks for the NDP have been also exaggerated. The win in 2020 by John Horgan was abnormal when the NDP just pulled away. So it's gone back to what it was in 2017. No big deal. I would like to say also to Pierre Poilievre that since you have come in as leader, the Social Democrats have held their seat in by-election in Winnipeg. The Social Democrats are going to hold on to government, albeit in a sort of agreement with the Greens. And I have a third thing I want to mention, and that is New Brunswick. New Brunswick, for various reasons, the Social Democrats are extremely weak, and it's the Greens who sort of hold the progressive mantle. Well, one of the nastiest prime ministers and one of the nastiest regimes, Blaine Higgs, went down in flames, so much so that he even lost his seat, and the Liberals took over. And he did everything he could. And for instance, in the name of a balanced budget, he helped screw up the medical system, which is already in trouble. On social issues, he was very anti-LTGB, and that is already going to be immediately reversed by his successor, the first woman prime minister in New Brunswick, Susan Holt. And I think it was a stunning defeat. There was nothing narrow about it. And although I would prefer strong, well, above all, NDP, but second choice, the Greens, the fact of the matter is the Liberals are still better than the Conservatives. And I take great joy in the downfall, not only of Mr. Higgs, who is a very cold-blooded gentleman, but also his conservative cronies.